Hello, everyone in Ring the Build world. Man, what a day! We have our great host here today. Decided to join us from the land down under. He's not in Australia. He's just in
No.
Florida, guys. Man, we got some big news coming out this morning, Chris. We signed him. Me and John just discussed it last night.
Mhm.
Wasn't sure it was going to happen, but they said it's official. I think but they
Mhm.
said 3 years for 126, man.
Yeah.
How big is that? Are you shocked at the number? Are the years what you thought they would be? What do you think? What were your first thoughts when you saw those numbers?
So my first thought was, remember when John told me that I was wrong that Zach Wheeler wasn't going to sign before opening day? That was where my head was.
That's
But
usually happens though.
um, no, what shocked me actually was the no opt outs and no movement. I actually thought that maybe after a second year there would have been an opt out. But this guy said all along that, Wheeler said that he and his family doesn't want to go anywhere. They want to stay in Philadelphia. But 3 years, man, 126, what a huge number.
Who
That's
opts out of 42 million? You
yeah,
know,
$42 million a year. Um, I
I just
was I guess in my head I thought, man, 3 years, 120 when we talked about it that's a lot of money. But then I remember you saying you could definitely see that $42 million a year number, and I was like, you know what? If it happens, that's 2 million more than what I would think. That's who cares.
it went up. I don't. I'm not mad. I
No,
get it. He totally. You have to pay the guy for what he did for you, and
yeah,
while he was underpaid, they got him on
yes,
such a bargain deal. Yes, because of the injury history he had with the Mets, he
yep,
hadn't really shown he could do what he did in Philadelphia. Um,
hmm,
if you go back and look at his stats, the I don't want to say night and day, but he definitely shown he could stay healthy and he can hit
yep,
that next level. So right
hmm.
now he's fourth in total baseball on average annual value. Right behind, it's our boy Otani at 70 million. Then you got your drops, but Scherzer and Verlander right around 43.3, and then
Yeah.
now you got Wheeler at 42. Um, I'm a little shocked it got done so quick, but hey, like you said, he's been saying this whole time he wants to be in Philadelphia, wants to stay in Philly. He loves it here. It's dude, it's the
And
Bryce Harper effect.
it
Everybody
really
now
is.
wants to come here and stay here.
And stay here. And I will say this too, you know, shout out to Dave Dombrowski, who said from day one of the offseason, he said that Zach Wheeler was their top priority and they're going to do everything that they can to get it done before opening day. And they took care of it. It didn't seem like they rushed it at all. And everything kind of went the way they wanted to do. And you're right about the Bryce Harper effect. It's just whoever comes here wants to sign here and they just want to stay here. And it's incredible, man, that now we have two pitchers. Well, one to kind of go back to what you said about Scherzer and Verlander. I think Wheeler at this point he's worth more at that 42 million than they both are at their current numbers. Um, one he's what 5 years younger than
Pretty
them,
much, yeah.
so um, but yeah, I think the Harper effect is awesome. The fact that they want to stay here when they come here, and now you have your top two pitchers um, at a pretty good price. It helps that Nola. This might even go back to the fact that Nola took less money,
Yeah.
so they could afford to go up to that 42 number for Wheeler. I mean, they could have done it anyway, but because remember, it's not our money. But yeah, I think now the Phillies have their top two pitchers locked in, and I think it's a great feeling to have.
Does this change your thoughts on how they've pursued this offseason, what they've done, like lack of moves, really? Does this change your thoughts on the offseason? Because we've really, even though they're our own guys, we extended Nola and we gave
Yeah.
Wheeler the extension. Does that really change your thoughts and not put as much pressure on them, really, and still have that we're going to make the deadline deal thought process?
So I think if they do a deadline deal now, it's for number three, or they try to ramp it up and get another big time arm at that point, depending on where they are in the season. But I think the off season, I mean, there were still some needs, but again, this team, as it was, we talked about it. It's a team that was one win away from the World Series, a team that didn't have Harper the first month, a team that had a abnormal Trey Turner through until August. Now that you have your ace and then your number two locked in, you have everyone on this team is seemingly healthy. Marsh should be fine by opening day. He's already basically ahead of schedule. I think this offseason went, if I'm part of the Phillies brass, I think this offseason went as perfect as they probably envisioned it.
I agree. The one point I made last night, I'd have liked to have thrown a type of contract that Bellinger got. I'd love to have given that contract to him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, with Wheeler's, like, I don't know why it jazzed me up, but it really got me going, and I'm really stoked about it.
I know.
We don't have to wait till next offseason. It just gets rid of the distractions.
Yep.
I would really like, man, I just think that Snell, a 1 year Snell now, a 2 year Snell now.
I'll take a 2 year Snell now.
Makes such good sense. And you give him that opt out after 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And if he has a Cy Young season, let him go test the market again. That was my whole thought last night. If you can give him the type of deal that Chapman and Bellinger have been getting, and it seems that's what the Phillies want to do, man, if you can get him in the 3, yes, I get I've really bashed him and I've really, but on a 2 year deal, I'm okay with Nola. And I'm okay if you're going to give him around with Nola got.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm so jazzed up for this season now. I'm just happy we got it done. I just thought because I thought free agency, they're still looking at other guys. I figured they'd wait till the season started to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy. It is. Yeah, really, since Bryce Harper came, the players want, the guys we've traded for, it's weird to see. They want to stay here. They want to be here. And it's crazy because a lot of times when you hear those athletes speak and say that thing, you assume it's just speak. It's pandering to the fans.
And we talk about it, and we've said it before. Actually, you and I privately have said it probably 16,000 times, that the day that he came here, internally and externally, it was a foundational change.
Yeah.
And, we don't have a World Series yet. We don't have a World Series yet. But we're in a much closer direction than we were for almost a decade. So, and by the way, guys, not the way we planned it. This is episode 100.
Oh man, is it? Yo,
so I had to turn around, and my wife had up her phone and a notepad and said, "Don't forget that this is episode 100."
Morgan, let's go.
So, so thank you, Zach.
I would have had the bottles. I'd have had the bottles ready. I didn't even realize.
The bottles at 9:50. So thank you, Zach Wheeler, for propelling a pretty gigantic episode 100. It makes sense, right? Bryce changed the absolute foundation of this organization, and it just continues to prove itself with anybody that they bring in here to sign. I mean, they almost got Yamamoto, and Yamamoto, they said, really almost chose to be in Philly because of hearing directly from Bryce. And the fact that almost happened it's incredible. So now, look, we do all this talking. We pander as Phillies fans about how great this team can be. It's time. It's time, Jay. It's time to buckle up now, and they got to go get one. They got to get one.
You have to.
And, they got to do it now because the window of this prime core doesn't have so long. So they got to get it done now.
Well, that's why I think I'm great with the 3 year deal. I don't want to say we have 3 years left, but I feel like you have a lot of older stars that are in their early 30s.
Yep.
So, not everybody's Verlander that can go to 40.
Correct.
So I agree with you. But, man, it really was. And you hear the term, the culture of a locker room a lot, and you're always culture of a workplace, and I'm sure it's the same. You want to be around where, you're having fun, having a good time. And it really looks like these dudes are. And this is, to me, it's just another example of that. Your guys, people that you bring in want to stay. I couldn't be more stoked. It's so good at 9:50, you know, to wake. No, I don't say wake up, but I did wake up at 9:30 and have some messages. Yo, Wheeler's here. Wheeler's done. It's done.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about it. Thank you, Zach Wheeler, for signing that extension. I
Mhm.
can't wait. The kid's he's totally outperformed. I don't expect a huge drop off. You
Mhm.
may see some slight, you know, with age, you never know. But I don't
Right.
expect a drop off. I cannot wait for this season. I know big things are going to happen. That is
Mhm.
a beautiful resort, my friend. It's a
Oh,
nice
thank you. I
balcony.
appreciate that. Yeah, and the pool's down there.
You should go swimming later.
I am. I'm gonna swim off this sweat from the fact that Zach Wheeler's signing and I'm doing this,
Oh,
and
dude,
it's
I
hot.
can't. But yeah, dude, that's amazing. We
Yeah,
just wanted to hop on and bring
for
something
sure.
little to you guys today.
Mhm.
Especially with doing it last night. We did not expect it, but
No.
overnight the Phillies must have been working hard behind the
Yep.
scenes.
Yep.
42 mil it's a big number, but I'm okay with it. Like I said
But
earlier, like
yeah,
you said, you had to throw him an extra bone because of what he's done for you the last few years. Is
yes,
he a Cy Young winner? No.
he's there.
He's a candidate, feel like every year, and he's a top guy.
Yes. Yep.
As long as the dead arm kind of stays away this season, I expect another, you know, top of the rotation, top
Mhm.
5 pitcher in baseball.
Agreed.
I'm okay with it.
Mhm. I agree, man. This is a huge day. Episode 100. I'm gonna hop out, but Jason, thank you so much. Dave Dombrowski, thank you so much. Zach Wheeler, you're here until the end, man. Till that arm falls off, but just make sure it falls off after you retire from Philly. So
Yeah, let's get through these next 3 years, bud.
just a huge day for the Phillies. Now this gets me completely amped for the end of March. So let's make it happen.
I agree. Chris, thank you. This is the Ring the Bell podcast. We had to bring an emergency episode 100. Let's go to you guys today because of the big signing. Appreciate you, everybody, for checking in today.
Yep.
And we'll be back with our regularly scheduled episode this Sunday. I'm sure we'll dive in more and love to hear John's thoughts.
For sure.
I know he's excited as well. But thank you all for checking us out this morning. And whenever you guys check us out today and catch us, thank you all. Zach Wheeler, next 3 years in Philly. Next 4 years, technically. He's here this year, too. Next 4 years, signed up, locked up.
Yep.
Let's get us that ring. Let's get that ring, baby.
You got it. Go Phils.
Go Phils. Later, Chris.